This is AC Primetime Radio.
Well, glad to see. Absolutely.
Yep. It's AC. It's acprimetime.com. Mr. Gene Simmons and Kiss, because they're talking about the medical industry. Oh, a different type? Oh. It's a different type of doctor. Because a lot of our politicians, they believe they have some sort of extra power. You know, a lot of our elected officials think they know all about infectious disease. They're like part-time jobs at the CDC. But you can say this. Gene Simmons of Kiss was the original Dr. Love. And that was the biggest song for me growing up. How about you? Yeah, today's about healthcare. And are we here in New Jersey handling the pandemic as best we can? Do we have pundits and politicians with very little background in infectious disease making broad, sweeping statements affecting your business, your economy, your livelihood, your family life? It's Thursday, April 22, 2021. Greetings and salutations. Yep, there you go. You see that new slide I have there? I got Ernest right there in one corner. In the upper left-hand corner, it's Ernest Corsi, Phil Gunther. We got Harry Hurley on the right-hand side. He's right on top of Buzz Kia over the press of Atlantic City. But in the middle is the patron saint of acprimetime.com. That is Pinky Kravitz. Pinky, a legend here in the Atlantic City area. He was the man when it came to news and information or rumors and fun and poking at the ugly side of Atlantic City. You could trust Pinky. He's no longer with us, but he does live through me. His spirit came over to me, so thank you very much. acprimetime.com. Have you gotten on the email newsletter list yet, biatch? Stupid. Why not? Why the hell not? Stupid. I know one person. Hey, Don, you're on the email newsletter list for AC Primetime, right?
Absolutely.
I knew it because you're the man. All right. Next slide, Don. It's COVID time. That's Governor Phil Murphy every 30 days giving himself executive powers, emergency powers. When he does that, nobody can say, hey, Phil, can I ask you about something? No. Shut up. Sit down. You sit over there next to Mario Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo, one of the Cuomos. I don't know which one's which. Yeah, I got some updates for you. A lot of this news. It's in the public domain. It's in newspaper and TV. Hi, Iris June Weingarten. Hi, Iris. I'm getting better at learning how to be silly and read comments at the same time. So you can comment if you'd like on our Facebook at AC Primetime. You can also follow us on YouTube. I set up a YouTube channel, and you can click subscribe, and when I go live, you'll be notified. And if you missed it, you'll be able to be notified that there's a nice AC Primetime podcast, webcast waiting for you with a lot of fun and excitement. So getting back to Phil Murphy, every 30 days he keeps on saying, I'll take another 30 days of complete dictatorship. Thank you very much. It really is true. It's not good, and no politician in New Jersey has the testicular fortitude to say, "Yo, Phil, what the fuck you doing?" No, a bunch of wussies here in New Jersey, especially the Republicans, spineless. I'm telling you. Now the Democrats are really stupid. Republicans are spineless. That's the way I have it, all set up right now in my mind. Both parties have huge problems. They really do. All I'm trying to do is make New Jersey purple again. All right, somewhere in the middle. How about it? Or maybe we'll cut the state in half. Down here in South Jersey, it'll be kind of Republican, middle of the road, libertarian maybe. And up north in Central Jersey, all you lefties can take the whole state communist if you want. I don't care. Anyway, whenever I open the show with Kiss, things go haywire. It does. So just to give you an idea of the stuff that we really find very frustrating, our good friend there is going, hey, he likes Phil Murphy, and he's totally on board that Phil Murphy, the governor of New Jersey, if you notice in the background, CNN is on. at that bar. That's a good place to go check out CNN. Anyway, right now in New Jersey, there's a 200-person limit for outdoor gatherings. 200 people, tops, can limit themselves to hang out together outdoors. That's still going on in New Jersey. Hardcore lockdowns, but we are so far behind. But if you're having a political event, and I think there's weddings and funerals there, you get a lot of wiggle room there. But if you have a political event, or a march, or a peaceful protest, we have a lot of them here in the Atlantic City region. Peaceful protest, unlimited capacity. Knock yourself out. 10,000 people, you got it. Because the virus knows they can pick and choose who to infect. And when you have people like, look at this handsome, he looks like some kind of he crawled out from a very dark spot, lack of vitamin D, no testosterone at all. No testosterone at all we're looking at right there. That's why. Anyway, I'm sorry. I apologize. What I wanted to do is talk about this article in the Patch blog or news website. Patch does a great job of covering the Ocean City news, and I'm jealous because they do a really good job. And I'm not in Ocean City, and I love Ocean City. Anywho, except for those crazy bike gangs, and those, is there some kind of a scandal going on down on the beach with inappropriate, bad behavior? Yeah, you check it out on Instagram, but we'll talk about that later. That's a whole other topic. But anyway, New Jersey is struggling. According to Patch, New Jersey is struggling in CDC COVID hot zone, highest death rate in the USA. There you go. Hardcore draconian lockdowns, masks out the wazoo. Everything's closed. Total executive emergency powers. Should have given them up a long time ago. And we're in the shitter. But the person who needs no introduction, that's right there, the lovely lady, Judy Persicelli. Is that her name? Judy Persicelli? Does she have it under control? Anybody asking? She should have called in Dr. Levine. We got to get some professionals in here, a nice diverse array of opinions. I'd go with Dr. Levine, the number 2 person in the federal government in terms of health. What do you say? What do you say, Judy? Anyway, why don't we want to read a little bit of it? Well, there's Marty Small, the mayor of Atlantic City, and LaQuetta Small, all masked up. Don't you hate that? Okay, everybody, let's get all masked up. I'm outside, and there's nobody near me with like 50 feet. I'm going to put a mask on. Got to keep the theatrics going. I need another 30 days of executive order powers. Another election's coming up, and I want to make sure it's the safest election of all time. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so what I got to do, Marty, I got to put you down there. Oh, there you go. So let me bring this down here. These are the wonderful goings on here in the state of New Jersey. So that's Judy Persicelli, and this is from the Patch website. It says, state officials say the state is still struggling to manage the pandemic since the latest data shows that New Jersey remains wedged inside a COVID-19 hot zone. It's currently ranked first in the U.S. in coronavirus deaths per capita over the past week, according to the CDC, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Health Commissioner of New Jersey, Judith Persicelli, told the State Assembly Budget Committee on Wednesday that the trend could continue to slow the pace of reopenings. We may not be able to reopen, as much as we'd like, or capacity expansions while the state continues to address problems at long-term care facilities and nursing homes. The hell is that? I don't think that was on the front page of the Press of Atlantic City. Buzz? I think you missed a story here. What is it? Selective reporting? Media really is the problem, everybody. Just wanted to give you a heads up. My whole career has been in media, TV, radio, newspaper, web, and it's a double-edged sword. It's a great thing to have communication channels like newspaper, TV, radio, web. But the big mainstream media players, I believe that a big portion of them have been corrupted. They're not telling us the truth. Sometimes we get canceled have things like platforms canceled, or these news stories just don't get in the paper, or they're spun, or they are verbalized and misconstrued, just spun to make people scratch their head. If anybody is interviewing Governor Phil Murphy of New Jersey and not asking him these questions, they're not doing it. They're just saying, Phil, you're doing a great job. How many jabs did you get into arms this week? Oh, what was that? The black and brown community is way behind in vaccinations, especially in Atlantic City. How can you handle that? Dr. Ben Carson was here in town a few weeks ago, but I don't think you tapped into his expertise. How about Mayor Marty Small? Is he on the stick here? Is he helping out here? I don't know. But Health Commissioner Judith Persicilli told the State Assembly Budget Committee on Wednesday that the trend could continue to slow the pace of reopenings or capacity expansions while the state continues to address problems at long-term care facilities and nursing homes. You haven't got that together yet? New Jersey is one of the 5 states that have a horrible track record in regards to nursing homes, and infection rates. Long-term care facilities. New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, California, Michigan. I think those are the 5 states that have a horrendous track record in regards to COVID and especially nursing home deaths, miscountings. They get all confused because now that math and arithmetic is racist, everybody is like downshifting. Hey, we were off by a couple thousand. What do you want me to do? Get off my tip. Jeez. It's acprimetime.com. It's April 22, 2021. This is the news that in most cases, you will not read in the newspaper of record, but you just go outside the market, like go into North Jersey newspapers or down in Ocean City, and you get different news because the local news just sweeps things under the carpet. That's why you should be subscribing and reading a variety of publications. Breaking AC, acprimetime.com. Maybe you want to focus on the Down Beach area like Margate, Ventnor, Longport. I would recommend that you go to downbeachbuzz.com. All right, next paragraph. The state says it conducted 1,000 infection control inspections and 520 regular surveys, as well as investigated 758 complaints at long-term care facilities. Nobody has the balls to ask Governor Murphy what's up with the draconian lockdowns, but you still have some kind of an issue, out-of-control issue, kind of, sort of, maybe, nursing homes, long-term care. What is up? New Jersey media needs to grow a spine. This is just a story from today, April 22, 2021, from the Patch down in Ocean City. This all true? Yeah. Out of that, 613 deficiencies have been cited. 2.2 million in penalties have been imposed against 79 facilities since the pandemic began, Persicilli said. So she's given out a lot of fines and penalties. $2.2 million in penalties have been imposed against 79 facilities since the pandemic began. The health director of New Jersey, somebody who needs no introduction, Judy Persicilli. Come on, be honest. Are you like me? The moment you hear Governor Phil Murphy get on the radio, you run to the radio dial and you turn it the fuck off right away? Yeah. Still around 8,000. Listen to this. 8,000 of the state's 22,000 deaths have been at long-term care facilities, and 1 in 500 New Jerseyans have died from the disease, she said. What? But that 8,000, do you trust that number? Why don't they need to start proving that these numbers and these recommendations, they can back it up. Nobody ever asks, hey, Governor, can you prove that we're up shit's creek? Okay, unfortunately, the one thing we're struggling with is our death rate from COVID has not decreased, Persicilli said. That's not a position to be proud of. Well, you're in charge. You haven't figured this out yet? Why are the other states doing much better? And you had hardcore lockdowns. Anybody want to vote? Yeah, they have failed miserably in their handling of this crisis. Plenty of examples of that. And you know what kind of states have the biggest problems. You know what kind of towns have issues with the economy. They can't even find people to hire back as these businesses open up. Why? Because we were giving everybody all this money to sit home. So now that the economy is kind of opening up, can't find employees. Why? Why the hell would I work when I can make way more money sitting home? It's Uncle Joe hooked us up. Uncle Joe. You know, Uncle Joe, the guy that's missing a few sandwiches, short of a picnic. Yeah, that's our man. Big Joe. Stupid. Anyway, you can't find employees, so those businesses will struggle. Thanks, Governor Phil Murphy. But let's get back to the health thing. New Jersey reporting is a Persicilli says the committee, actually Persicilli, the lady that needs no introductions, she says that the New Jersey has the second highest death rate in the nation, only behind Michigan. Governor Whitmer over there. She's somebody to really look up to. Governor Whitmer. Holy, who voted for her? Who? Please tell me. On Thursday, the state jumped to the top position. What's that? All right. What did I? Is that true? Judy Persicilli, the head of health for the state of New Jersey, the lady that needs no introduction, she has announced that New Jersey has the second highest death rate in the nation, behind only Michigan. But on Thursday, the state jumped to the top position. Congratulations, Phil and Judy. No. It is something to be proud of. Yeah. New Jersey reporting a COVID-19 fatality rate of 2.9%, or 2.9 per 100,000 population over the past 7 days. You don't know who to trust. You don't know what's going on. All media is full of it, but a lot of it. New Jersey ranks high in cases too. I don't like being in that mix with Minnesota and Michigan. Persicilli. Okay, here's the next paragraph of note. Persicilli, who needs no introduction, took heat from some lawmakers during the hearing who couldn't understand why the state couldn't do more to prevent deaths at long-term care facilities. Somebody has to be responsible for those losses of lives, said Assemblyman Harold Hal Worths of Sussex County. Once again, Persicilli took heat from lawmakers during the hearing. They couldn't understand why the state of New Jersey couldn't do more to prevent deaths at long-term care facilities. This is still going on. My mother was in the hospital during that period of time. Scared the bejesus out of me that she would be trapped in there. Luckily, we got her out pretty fast, in and out. Atlantic Care in Atlantic City. Great job. Thank you for. Even during the lockdown, they had ways of letting you see your parents while they're in a hospital room. Very safe, too. Anyway, but what a mess. The state of New Jersey. Killing the economy. Really not keeping people protected. Anybody want to raise their hand? We will forgive you. We will let it slide. Raise your hand. Did you vote for Phil Murphy? 1, 2, 3. That's a little too many. You may want to rethink it coming up later this year. He killed your businesses. He's chasing people away. He told you that you're a racist and you are a misogynist, and you did a long list of things. I don't even know how many. I didn't know I was so hateful. But until Phil Murphy came around, I know how much of an evil person, I'm a nasty bitch. I didn't know. But now I know. I could embrace my anger. My inner ugly. I'm tapping into it. Thank you. Anywho, The district includes Andover Subacute Rehab Center, which made headlines a year ago after stacking more than a dozen bodies in temporary facilities. Makeshift morgue. Persicilli, who needs no introduction, said the virus is at fault. What kind of statement is that? But she also said that multi-generational housing and New Jersey's status as having the densest population in the county are also to blame. Given those close quarters, the virus was able to spread too easily, and health officials were initially told that the disease was symptomatic spread, she said. I stand by what we did, she said. There were people walking around into our long-term care facilities without a symptom and spreading the disease. Yeah, well, your boss, Phil, that really good-looking smile, he made it okay. He made it okay that these long-term care facilities, the nursing homes, they had to accept infected patients or formerly infected patients. State of New York, bad mistake. They screwed up bad. And Phil Murphy followed Mr. Cuomo. But we have a relatively spineless media industry here in the state of New Jersey. And they kind of look the other way. They're afraid because it's a very powerful position to be the governor of New Jersey. It has all these extra powers that other states don't have. And then when you add the sweetener to the top and you provide for emergency executive powers, that's a sweet weapon to yield or wield. And New Jersey Republicans have no balls. Not at all. They should be kicking him in the nuts on a daily basis. They really should. I would elect Seth Grossman for Senate because Seth is like a rabid bulldog. Okay, maybe a mix between a bulldog and a chihuahua, but you don't want that little bugger to chomp into your ankle. He's not gonna let go. So that's my endorsement for Seth Grossman for Senate. Go to grossmanforsenate.com. Anywho. So great job to Judy. Judy said 35% of the deaths involved communities of color, and 3 times as many Hispanic men between 35 and 60 are dying compared to whites. What the hell does that mean? You're at fault. You better fix that. And why don't you holla over to Mayor Marty Small of Atlantic City? He wants to help because from what I understand, he recently received an award for his excellent work at handling the pandemic. Did you get an award like that? I think, what? You use it as a doorstop. All right, Judy. I knew. You never needed introduction. I love you. The latest stats, that's just bad. It's he said the high death rate. What's baffled me a bit because we had the strictest lockdowns and I don't see what's working. Persicilli said reopening decisions are based on health department data. And then she said if the state didn't take the lockdown steps, check this out. If the state of New Jersey, this is Judy Persicilli, who needs no introduction. If the state didn't take the lockdown steps it needed to take, she said, as many as 1 out of every 250 New Jersey residents could have died. Well, how do you know that? Nobody ever asked them or pushes back even a little bit. So we listen to this pap. Vaccinations, Persicilli. Yeah, so go up to patch.com. And it's amazing. So what can you do? What are we allowed to do? How many people can get together? General indoor gatherings right now, the state of New Jersey, this is still going on. We have locked down and masked up and separated and social distanced at our asses. Any state that's done that is actually doing worse. But yeah, you can, yeah, Florida was a fluke, right? And Texas was a fluke, right? Yeah. It's funny how our healthcare has been politicized. How stupid. How about this? Why don't we all anybody that wants to stay alive and have a good life, get on this side of the line. Anybody who wants to cower and just stay in the basement wrapped in plastic for as long as it takes, you go over to this side. We're okay with that. Segregation in this regard is appreciated. Governor Murphy, is that right, man? So general indoor gatherings must be limited to 25 people. 25 people. And they have to wear face mask coverings and stay 6 feet apart. Indoor gatherings for religious services, weddings, funerals, and memorial services, any type of religious thing like that, 50% of room capacity. Weddings, funerals, there's some other information. Go up to the covid19.nj.gov site. Indoor gatherings for private catered events like wedding receptions are capped at 35% of the room's indoor capacity, but no more than 150 individuals. Because the moment you go over, indoor gatherings for political activities protected under the First Amendment, 35% of a room's capacity. It conveniently, Governor Phil Murphy of New Jersey invokes the Constitution, First Amendment, the Bill of Rights. Yeah. And on occasion, he kind of throws it out the window. Whatever's really, if it's above his pay grade, he just, whatever. There's a lot of people helping him. Indoor sports, blah, blah, blah. Indoor performances, large venues, including sports and entertainment venues with a fixed seating capacity of 2,500 or more. You can host events at 20% capacity indoors. Holy crap. Indoor meetings, legislative proceedings are not subject to limits on. So there's certain activities and certain types of people. Yes, you can put your lives at risk of getting infected. Jeez. How about outdoor gatherings? Even with the vaccination rates going up, some level of herd immunity may be kicking in. And we're doing a better job at just doing basic personal hygiene, But face diapers where you breathe back in your carbon dioxide, And if you're outside, on a bike, outside running, outside in a car by yourself with a mask on. How did we get to that point? And you're vaccinated twice. It's the media. They are scaring you. There's money in fear. And don't tell me about, you don't take it seriously. You better believe I take it seriously. How dare you think I don't care about my mortality? You have no right to talk about that because I'm staying safe. But you have a governor who's just making all kinds of, good, picking winners and losers. We're going into month number 13, 14, 15? I lost count. But here's where it gets kind of frustrating, even more frustrating. Large venues. Where the hell did it go? Well, on this page, it does talk about, there are limitations outdoors, but unlimited for political events, unlimited for peaceful protests, unlimited riots. They're interchangeable terms, riot and peaceful protest. Press of Atlantic City is all about the peaceful protest. It's in their style guide. That's a little inside newspaper industry talk for you. You got to capitalize B and do they capitalize white? I think it's lowercase. Anyway, I'm losing track here. But yes, there are limitations. Is there going to be an Atlantic City Air Show? An Atlantic City Air Show for summer 2021? I don't know. Outside is where the lowest infection rate comes. But Phil Murphy just, whatever. So as long as it's political in nature, I believe that the Atlantic City Air Show of 2021 should be a big, giant, we love you, Joe Biden event. It would be a go. It would be awesome. We can invite different speakers. Maybe somebody from Antifa can stop by. Steve Young, I would have him be the host of the entire event. Share the love with Steve Young. All right. Hey, Jimmy Whitehead, Atlantic youth positive COVID-19 on the rise. Yeah, okay. We have to dig up, unfortunately. Yeah, so there are those within the community, inner cities of Atlantic City. I don't know what it is, man, but I don't know where that information is. A spike in teen COVID, whatever. Well, I know there's teen crime, motorcycle gangs. I think the big, and of course, Atlantic City Public Schools barely getting back into the classroom, whereas charter schools or private schools, Catholic schools, they've been going back for a long time. Atlantic City Public Schools, students, parents, you've been screwed. But they will scare you that there's new variants coming out. That, a 14-year-old is infectious. Who knows where this is coming from? Are they being taught this in churches, community groups, activists? My TikTok? I learned it. Where'd you find out about that? Okay, the variant? Oh, on TikTok. Well, that's good. It's a good source. You can trust that. Yeah, guys like Jemmy Whitehead, with all due respect, sir, who is not going to be careful? You know what's not careful? When you see youth of Atlantic City with bike gangs and motorcycles and ATVs, popping wheelies, doing tricks down Pacific and Atlantic Avenue. When you see students inside the Atlantic City School District, do you really think that they are safe and secure as much as we'd like them to be? You see, Jimmy, sometimes there's some things that will pay off more if you'd focus on that. But the good news is that you'll have more to focus on because the orange man is active a little bit, and we got to get that all fired up. Dementia, you know what that is, Alzheimer's, dementia. We should raise awareness of how horrible that is. And it's really bad, Alzheimer's and dementia, when it possibly, affects the President of the United States. Yeah, you voted for him. You hated the orange man so bad that you had to vote for a guy who didn't even fucking know his name. Sorry about that. I'm ticked off. All right, let me move on. I can't believe. Yeah, you cannot have a lot of people unless it's political in nature. But feel free to vote for Phil Murphy again. You're stupid. And feel free to continue to support the current administration because they're paying you to stay home. Any cities, any states, it kills the economy. You can't find employees as the economy comes back. Who thought that was a good idea to overpay people to stay home? If you can work on that for me, Jimmy, that would be cool. Thank you. So don't forget, everybody, mask up, all right? And I cannot remember all that horrible stuff. So black and brown folks have a very low rate of being inoculated, of getting the vaccine, not doing well. That whole Johnson & Johnson thing, crazy. And we just read all that from Patch.com, but Judy Persicelli, the health director for the state of New Jersey. And she's saying, our nursing home stuff is not doing it's a mess, New Jersey, especially in Atlantic City. But it's interesting that I cannot believe it. It's true. Mayor Marty Small got the 2020 Hurley Award presented for Best Management of COVID-19 Health Pandemic. This is when you just say to yourself, this is the media not just ignoring bad behavior, but giving awards for it to cover for the mismanagement. You imagine that? An on-air daily radio person, Harry Hurley, gives a 2020 award to Mayor Marty Small for Best Management of COVID-19 Health Pandemic. It's an atrocity. It's an embarrassment. It's the worst in the nation. In this picture, what's more nauseating? Seeing Mayor Marty Small in an empty convention center with Governor Phil Murphy. Look what we just did. Look at all the beds. We're going to have a big, giant influx, a tsunami of people that need ventilators. How many vents do we have? Or does it make you want to throw up in your mouth a little bit when you see that a local talk show host, Truth in Broadcasting or something like that, gives an award to the mayor for best management of COVID-19 health pandemic. His population has a low rate of vaccinations. He's done nothing. Nursing homes, long-term care facilities, pitiful, still going on. But the award, there you go. How do you do that? How do you do that? It's embarrassing. But you want to change the topic to something much more uplifting? Blueberries, cantaloupes, tomatoes, corn, asparagus. Vince Mazzeo. No. It's not about produce today. It's about Reproduction Freedom Act. The Reproduction Freedom Act. Yeah, it was co-sponsored by my man, Vince Mazzeo, Assemblyman Mr. Mazzeo. He wants to be the next senator for New Jersey. And he co-sponsored this bill called the Reproduction Freedom Act. What's that? I am free to inseminate anything that moves? What is that? Reproduction Freedom Act. It sounds good, right? It does. Anyway, so let's get to the point. My man, Vince Mazzeo. No, it's about this. Vince Mazzeo co-sponsored a bill called the Reproduction Freedom Act, and I did not know that Mr. Mazzeo was so pro-hardcore advanced abortion. Part of this bill, or this resolution, whatever they call it, but it's a public-funded. He wants public-funded abortion anytime, right up until birth, even if it's partial birth abortion, third trimester. Sometimes people, babies, they survive an abortion. And then they have to decide what to do with that baby. This is the kind of stuff that's inside of this bill. That's being co-sponsored by my man, Mr. Cantaloupe and Tomatoes. He's the best. He really is. These are the things that I never see, written about. I never see it written about in the papers. I'm just here to share the information to support my man, Vince Mazzeo. So the bill, the Reproduction Freedom Act, and it's co-sponsored by Vince Mazzeo, the esteemed assemblyman who wants to be your senator. Publicly funded abortion anytime during the process of that baby growing and then being born. Okay? Late-term abortion, partial birth abortion. It's all in there. It's a little confusing. I don't know it like a doctor or anything. But if you see Vince, reach out and ask him about it. He thinks that you're not paying attention, but some of us are. The born alive abortion survivors. Sometimes doctors fail. They fail at killing that baby, that fetus, of aborting that child. And the baby comes out, and they have to decide what to do. They got to protect themselves from liability, all kinds of ugly stuff. Ask Vince Mazzeo about that. I don't have all the details. All residents, if you find yourself within the boundaries of the state of New Jersey, you're a migrant, you're undocumented, you're a spaced alien. If you're in the state of New Jersey, we are going to hook you up with an abortion, whatever you need. Call Vince. Maybe he'll give you some details as to where those abortion clinics are. A majority of them are in black community neighborhoods, inner cities. Yeah, that's true. Vince can give you more detail on that. That's right, because Vince will either confirm or deny that of all black pregnancies, I do not know if this is specifically true because they don't share this information too much. Is it possible that 52% of black pregnancies are aborted? What's up with that? Vince, get that detail for me so we can really know who are we killing here? I don't even want to talk about fetal tissue harvesting. That doesn't go on, Vince, right? I do think that a town hall, maybe some kind of a webinar you can do and go through these points, point by point, so we can make informed decisions. Because you and me, Vince, we don't have ovaries. I'm pretty sure. I know I don't. I don't want to misgender you, Vince. That's another topic for another day. Misgender. What are your preferred pronouns, Vince? Is it him? Your preferred pronouns. You know what that. I'm going to ask anybody talking to Vince, say, Vince, how would you like me to refer to you? Vince will say, him, her, no, him, he, fruit, corn, lettuce, romaine, I don't know. Non-physician abortions. Yes, in this bill, co-sponsored by my man, Vince Mazzeo. Now, Vince is a nice guy. We are not attacking him personally, but we are attacking his team. The team he's on is all for this, and Vince goes along for the ride. Yeah, he shouldn't be doing this. Non-physician abortion. So you want to terminate the pregnancy of your baby. You no longer would need to have a real physician there to do it. No. That's a part of it. It could be a part of it. Maybe it's not, but it's being discussed as we speak. And Vince is involved. Planned Parenthood, taxpayer money. Taxpayer money going to Planned Parenthood. Vince, I thought they only did mammograms. Oh, can you detail that for me and figure that out? I want to get the real... I don't mean to laugh, but I don't want to drop F-bombs as I read this list. Insurance providers. Insurance plans are going to be mandated to provide abortion services and contraceptives. Yeah, I want to buy rubbers for people. 12-month supply of Trojan ends. Extra large, please. No, for me, Magnum, if you know what I'm saying, Vince. You're more of the pleasure dot guy. I see that. I can see that. Listen, it's not about the size of the ship. It's about the motion of the ocean, my man. Mazzeo is big on abortion, so congratulations. More detail coming up on just exactly what that bill is. Mazzeo, abortion anytime, taxpayers' dime, could make a nice T-shirt. My man. Tweedledee, Tweedledum, Dumb and Dumber. He's on that. They're both on that same team. Mayor Marty Small and my main man, George Tibbett. acprimetime.com. That's it. I can only do so much as we leave you with this screen. Oh, man. All five of my favorite people. Ernest Corsi, Phil Gunther, Harry Hurley, Buzz Keogh, and the patron saint of acprimetime.com. That is Pinky Kravitz. Jeez. Yeah. Thank you very much. And where the heck did I do this? And God bless.